Honorable members of the committee, pursuant to Standing Order 106-3A, as the clerk of the committee, subcommittee, I will preside over the election of the chair and the vice chairs. I must inform members that the clerk of the committee can only receive motions for the election of the chair. The clerk cannot receive other types of motions, cannot entertain points of debate, nor participate in debate. So we can now proceed to the election of the chair. Pursuant to Standing Order 106-2, the chair must be a member of the government party. I am ready to receive motions for the chair. Mr. Zuberi?
I'd like to present a motion to have our colleague MP Al-Khouri as chair of this committee, subcommittee.
Thank you. Are there any further motions? Okay. I will now put the motion to the committee. It has been moved by Mr. Zuberi that Mr. Al-Khouri be elected as chair of the committee. Is it the pleasure of the committee to adopt the motion? Agreed. Thank you. I declare the motion carried and Mr. Al-Khouri duly elected chair of the subcommittee. Well, I invite Mr. Al-Khouri to come take the chair.
Alors, bonjour and hello to you all. It's a great pleasure being with you. Thank you for the confidence you're putting on me. I'll do my best. As you know me, most of you know me very well. I will be fair, I will be honest, and I am expecting from every one of you to behave and to act the same. I am sure we're all at the same level in this House. Thank you. Now, si le comité désire, j'invite de la...
If it's the will of the committee, I would like to ask the clerk
de vice-président
to proceed with the election of the vice president. Do we have a motion?
Brunel, Duceppe Brunel.
Oui, merci.
Mr. Alexis Brunel, yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Congratulations for your election. I'm delighted that you will be chairing this subcommittee, which is very important. I would like to move the nomination of Shulavat Mamunda as first vice president of the Subcommittee of Human Rights.
Oui. Une autre motion?
Do we have another motion?
Are there...
Very well.
The table for us. Is there any objection about the motion presented by Mr. Alexis Brunel Duceppe to elect Mr. Shivlor Majumdar as vice chair? Everyone agreed? Okay, I declare your motion carried and congratulations, Mr. Shivlor. Continue.
Correct. Okay. Parfait. Conformément à l'article 106.2, le second vice-président doit être un député.
The second vice chair has to be a member of the party other than the official opposition. I'm now ready to receive motions for the second vice president. Moved by Mr. Ajinda.
This committee has been extremely well served by Monsieur Alexis Brunel Duceppe, and I nominate him as a second vice chair.
Okay. Merci beaucoup. Okay. Il est proposé par Monsieur Majumdar que...
Moved by Mr. Majumdar for Mr. Brunel Duceppe that he be elected second vice president of the committee. Are there any further motions?
Je vais maintenir
Very well.
au comité.
I would like to submit the motion to the committee. Do you agree with the motion?
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
La motion adoptée et
I declare the motion carried, and Mr. Brunel Duceppe is duly elected as second vice chair of the committee. Congratulations.
mais il peut...
Jusqu'à...
C'est possible qu'il aimerait juste... Non, s'il vous plaît. Éteindre.
Can I have your attention, please? That the subcommittee retain as needed and at the discretion of the chair the services of one or more analysts from the Library of Parliament to assist its work. Meeting without a quorum. That the chair be authorized to hold meetings to receive evidence and to have that evidence published when a quorum is not present, provided that at least 4 members are present, including 2 members of the opposition parties and 2 members of the government party. Oui.
En anglais, en français, c'est comme vous voulez, mais un à la fois.
Oui.
Les services des analystes, il faut demander au comité s'il adopte la motion.
Okay. Alors, for this one that I just read, is the desire of the committee to adopt this motion? Yes. Mr. Zubairi.
Are we in open session now?
Yes.
Okay, we're supposed to be in open session.
Yes.
Okay, just curious. My
I
apologies.
can't hear you properly. Can you?
My apologies.
Sorry.
Thank you. Also, I'm a low talker. That's why you can't hear me properly. But you answered my question.
Thank you.
Qui va...
Quelqu'un parmi vous qui va proposer d'autres motions ici?
I will take a motion from anybody else, if you have some. Any other motions that you may have now regarding how this committee proceeds? No? Could you read this motion?
Le mot.
Would it be possible to read the motion once again?
Je vais le faire, monsieur.
Moi, je veux les... Vous voulez proposer? Go ahead, Mr. Majum Dar.
I would like to make the motion.
Yes.
That's what you're looking for, I understand. That the chair be authorized to hold meetings to receive evidence and to have that evidence published when a quorum is not present, providing that at least 4 members are present, including 2 members of the opposition parties and 2 members of the government party.
Anyone opposed the motion? Everyone is agreed? Motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Majumdar. Anyone? Yes, go ahead, Madam Tamara Kronis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to propose a motion that when we are traveling outside the parliamentary precinct, that the meetings begin after 15 minutes, regardless of whether a quorum is present, and that no substantive motion may be moved during such meetings.
Anyone opposed?
Catching on.
Everyone hear the motion? Everyone agree? Yes. Anita, please go ahead.
Yes, I just want double check that all of these motions are the normal, ordinary ones that we pass at the beginning of every committee?
Could confirm, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So everyone hear the motion of Madame Clanes? Yes, Mr. Zubayr.
Just to confirm, this is a normal ordinary motion. The one here is a normal ordinary motion.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. So, yes, Mr. Davis.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move that
No,
witnesses.
just a moment, please. We have to approve the motion proposed by Madame Cronis. So anyone opposed? Everyone agree? Motion carried. Mr. Davis.
Thank. I'd like to move that witnesses be given 5 minutes for their opening statements, that wherever possible, witnesses provide the subcommittee with their opening statements 72 hours in advance, that at the discretion of the chair during the questioning of witnesses, that there be allotted 7 minutes for the first questioner of each party as follows. First round, Conservative Party, Liberal Party, Bloc Québécois, and that thereafter 5 minutes be allotted to each subsequent questioner in the following order: Liberal Party, Conservative Party, Bloc Québécois.
Yes, Mr. No? Okay, everyone hear the motion proposed by Mr. Davis? Anyone opposed? All agreed? Motion, yes? Motion carries. Yes. Yes. Can you go to the first one?
Oui, c'est ça que je voulais faire. Exactement. C'est exactement là que je me
Exactly what I was about to do, Mr. Chair.
déposé la motion suivante.
I just tabled the following, the motion that the subcommittee be authorized to, that is,
Dans ses travaux.
that the subcommittee retain as needed at the discretion of the chair the services one or more analysts from the Library of Parliament to assist in its work. You have the motion presented by Mr. Duceppe.
Contre la motion. Tout le monde d'accord?
Anybody is against? Everybody's in agreement? Your motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Brunet Duceppe.
Encore.
Mais maintenant que c'est approuvé, Monsieur le Président,
Well, now that it's approved, Mr. Chair, I believe that we could ask our analysts to please come and sit with us, since now they have been confirmed as to their ability to do so. I'd like to invite the analysts to come and take their seats here. You're going to greatly enhance the value of this committee when you're with us.
Mr. Majumdar.
I'd like to move regarding document distribution that only the clerk of the subcommittee be authorized to distribute documents to members of the subcommittee, and only when the documents are in both official languages, and that all documents submitted to the subcommittee in both official languages that do not come from a federal department, members' offices, or that have not been translated by the Translation Bureau be sent for linguistic review by the Translation Bureau before being distributed to members, and that the witnesses be advised accordingly.
Everyone listen to the motion proposed by Mr. Majumdar. Anyone
I
opposed?
did hear it, but normally we present a text on paper for the motions. You have them.
You don't have them?
That's fine. We heard it read in, but yeah, thank you.
I could give you mine, Mr. Right?
And I also...
Because we need someone to propose in French also. Oh, merci. Remember, we are from Quebec. No? Oui. Madame Clanes.
I'd like to propose the next motion. It's one that's close to my heart. Calligraphière du Subcommittee en consultation avec le
That the clerk of the subcommittee, at the discretion of the chair, be authorized to make the necessary arrangements to provide working meals for the subcommittee.
Merci, Madame Clanes.
Thank you, Ms. Connis. Has everybody heard the motion presented by Ms. Connis? Is everybody in agreement?
Je peux vous dire, votre motion est approuvée. Merci.
Your motion carries. Thank you. Mr. Brunel-Dessep. Yes, I'd like to submit the following motion, Mr. Chair, since you like to hear them in French.
Témoins qui en font la demande.
That if requested, a reasonable travel accommodation living expenses be reimbursed to witnesses not exceeding 2 representatives per organization, and that in exceptional circumstances, payment for more representatives be made at the discretion of the chair. Thank you, Mr. Alex Brunel-Dessep. Everybody has heard the motion as moved by Alexis. Is everybody in agreement? No objections? Your motion carries. Thank you. Next.
Monsieur Brunel-Dessep.
Mr. Brunel-Dessep.
Encore déposé.
Well, this has not yet been presented.
Ah.
That.
Ah non, elle est.
No, I do believe it's been already presented.
Non, je pense pas qu'elle ait été déposée.
I don't think that no motion can be presented during these meetings without quorum. Where are we? We're at travel.
Yeah, next one.
In camera meetings now. No, we're at travel.
Je passe mon tour, Monsieur le Président, je suis perdu un peu.
I'm prepared to skip my turn, Chair.
Okay,
Pardon? Mr. Davis.
Unless otherwise ordered, each subcommittee member will be allowed to be accompanied by one staff member at in-camera meetings, and that one additional person from each House officer's office be allowed to be present. That during in-camera meetings, subcommittee members may be informed by the subcommittee chair of the members of Parliament who have been designated as substitutes for permanent members in order to know which members of Parliament are authorized to speak and vote these subcommittee meetings, and that only those who have been recognized and identified as such be authorized to speak in keeping with the usual agreed rules of order and decorum.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Everyone listen to hear the motion presented by Mr. Davis. Everyone agree? Motion carried. Thank you. Monsieur, Brunel-Dessep.
Oui, merci, Monsieur le Président. J'aimerais déposer la motion.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to submit the following motion: transcripts of in-camera meeting. That one copy of the transcript of each in-camera meeting be securely retained by the subcommittee clerk for consultation by members of the subcommittee or by their staff, and that the analysts assigned to the subcommittee have access to the in-camera transcripts. Mr. Brunel-Dessep, thank you. Has everyone heard the motion by Mr. Brunel-Dessep? We agree. Yes, carried. Next.
Monsieur Samir Zoubairi.
Thank you, merci. Donc, la prochaine motion, that 48-hour notice
The next motion is this.
be required for any substantive motion to be moved in subcommittee. A bit tired. To be moved in subcommittee unless the substantive motion relates directly to business then under consideration, provided that A, the notice be filed with the clerk of the subcommittee no later than 4 p.m. from Monday to Thursday and no later than 2:30 p.m. on Friday. B, the motion be distributed to members and the offices of the whip of each recognized party in both official languages by the committee on the same day the said notice was transmitted if it was received no later than the deadline hour. C, notices received after the deadline hour or on non-business days be deemed to have been received during the next business day.
Thank you, Mr. Zoubairi. Everyone hear the motion presented by Samir? Everyone agree? Motion carried. Thank you. Next. Suivant. Mr. Majumdar.
With respect to orders of reference from the House respecting bills, that in relation to orders of reference from the House respecting bills, A, the clerk of the subcommittee shall, upon the subcommittee receiving such an order of reference, write to each member who is not a member of a caucus represented on the subcommittee to invite those members to file with the clerk of the subcommittee in both official languages any amendments to the bill which is the subject of the said order, which they would suggest that the subcommittee consider. B, suggested amendments filed pursuant to paragraph A at least 48 hours prior to the start of the clause-by-clause consideration of the bill to which the amendments relate shall be deemed to be proposed during the said consideration, provided that the subcommittee may by motion vary this deadline in respect of a given bill, and C, during the clause-by-clause consideration of a bill, the chair shall allow a member who filed suggested amendments pursuant to paragraph A an opportunity to make brief representations in support of them. That was a mouthful.
Thank you, Mr. Majumdar. Everyone hear the motion presented by Mr. Majumdar? All agreed? Thank you. Motion carried. Madame Kranis.
Merci. I'd like to make a motion que la greffière informe chaque témoin
Let the clerk inform each witness who is to appear before the subcommittee that the House Administration Support Team must conduct technical tests to check the connectivity and the equipment used to ensure the best possible sound quality, and that the chair advised the subcommittee at the start of each meeting of any witness who did not perform the required technical tests. Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Has everybody heard the motion presented by Ms. Cronis? Is everybody in agreement? The motion carries. Thank you.
Sorry.
Et je sais pas si
And I don't know
essaie
if
mais
the members online are attempting to assist the meeting, but I have a further motion.
pour whip.
So WHIP's access to digital binders. That the clerk of the subcommittee be authorized to grant access to the subcommittee's digital binder to the offices of the whips of each recognized party. Thank you. We have all heard the motion presented by Mr. Zuberi. Everybody's in agreement. Carried.
Hello, Anita, sorry, are you going to propose a motion? We don't hear you.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead,
Yes,
please.
thank you. Le présidence utilise au besoin de
Let the chair, if necessary, use their prerogative to suspend meetings to maintain the order and decorum necessary to ensure the application of the House of Commons policies on workplace health and safety. Anita, thank you. Everyone has heard the motion as presented by Ms. Vanderbel. Everybody's in agreement. The motion carries. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Je pense que toutes les motions sont approuvées et
I believe that all the motions have been approved, and the floor is yours if you would like to speak to these. Mr. Brunet Duceppe. Thank you, Chair. First of all, I have a question for my colleagues. Does any of you have the intent of perhaps already developing a calendar? Would you like us to meet outside of the committee? Would you like to proceed with that right now? I am open to all options. However, there are things that are important to me. The election took place some time ago, and it's our first session, and we only have one session per week. So clearly, if we want to proceed quickly on consensus issues, I believe that it is important that we proceed rather quickly. There are certain items we already agreed on previously. Among other things, the awards for human rights advocates that we wanted to give to certain individuals, and we have agreed to award these awards for human rights advocates at the subcommittee level. We've identified these persons, but we have not yet had the opportunity to give these awards. And those prize winners, there are some who are in fragile health. So perhaps I would like us to make that an absolute priority for the committee. As to the other topics, of course, I have many ideas in mind, but I think when it comes to these Human Rights Prize awards, I think that should be a priority for the committee. I also had an issue with the report.
24 sur la
Is that of September 7th on Afghanistan. We never received a response by the government regarding the motion that we tabled, and Mr. Assessi was on the government. He was awaiting a response. I understand that there was no recommendation made. That has been previously the case in the past. However, there was a report that received no recommendations. And I think that doesn't affect this committee because that happened in the previous government. But perhaps we could agree on that as well, to request of the government to deliver an answer to that report from 2024. And as to the awards for the human rights advocates, I believe that this should be an absolute priority for the committee. As to the other studies, I am open to all of your suggestions. As usual, I think this is an extraordinary committee. I think we can always find a consensus-based approach to the issues. Thank you very much, Mr. Bruno-Duceppe. Mr. Duval. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I would suggest that we go into closed session for this nature of discussion around committee business, planning our calendar, just having this discussion around the calendar. I suggest we move into closed session. So I have a motion that we move into closed session. Or I move that we go into closed session, I should say.
Non débattable, vous pouvez le présenter, s'il vous plaît.
I move that we go into closed session. In camera, we close.
So, okay, go ahead.
Okay, we need to pause. You need to suspend. Okay.
Aye.